The trouble started when my partner reconnected with an old friend who had just gone through a bitter divorce. At first, I was pleased to see this renewed bond. My spouse seemed brighter, more relaxed, and delighted to have someone to confide in again. But soon, I noticed subtle changes in her demeanor. Her friend harbored a jaded view of marriage, and I could feel her influence creeping into my wife's thoughts. The first red flag appeared during a quiet dinner, when she casually broached the idea of non-traditional relationships. She asked what I thought about couples exploring connections outside their commitment. I laughed it off, thinking it was a playful remark, but she kept revisiting the topic in the weeks that followed. Whenever I voiced my unease, she brushed it aside, accusing me of holding on to old-fashioned ideas. As time went on, she started spending more evenings out, always insisting these were harmless meetups with her recently single friend. Initially, I trusted her completely, but a growing sense of doubt began to eat at me. She became secretive with her phone, grinning at late-night texts and taking extra care with her appearance before these outings. The person I had known for years seemed to be slipping away. One night, I overheard fragments of a phone conversation where she laughed about the excitement of breaking free from restrictions. My stomach sank as I realized she wasn't just talking about casual socializing. When I confronted her, she grew defensive, explaining that her friend had encouraged her to seize life and escape the routine of our marriage. Her words struck deep, as I had always believed our connection was solid, yet she seemed to see our life together as mundane. She admitted her friend had suggested cheating if I wouldn't agree to an open relationship. The betrayal stung, not just from her actions, but from her valuing her friend's toxic advice over my feelings. My worst suspicions were confirmed when I noticed her sneaking back into the house in the early morning hours. When I pressed her, she confessed to seeing another man, dismissing it as a brief experiment, as if that lessened the pain. My trust was broken, and no excuse could repair it. Weeks later, the final blow came when she sat me down and revealed she was pregnant. The timing made it agonizingly clear the child might not be mine. In that moment, my world fell apart. Through tears, she admitted she wasn't sure who the father was, insisting she never meant for things to go this far. But her intentions couldn't undo the devastation. Her friend, the spark behind this turmoil, had disappeared, leaving my spouse to face the consequences alone, with our marriage in ruins. She tried to shift some blame onto her friend, claiming she wouldn't have strayed without such influence. I reminded her that she made those choices herself. I began to withdraw emotionally. Our home, once filled with love, now felt cold and silent. Every look at her stirred a mix of rage and sorrow. I replayed our shared dreams, of building a family, of unbreakable trust, now turned into a nightmare. Close friends and family noticed the tension, and I eventually opened up to them. Some offered comfort, while others advised me to leave. Deep down, I knew they were right, but my raw emotions made it hard to move forward. The pregnancy added another layer of complexity. She begged me to stay by her side, regardless of the child's paternity, but the idea of raising another man's child felt like a wound that would never heal. In the end, I realized the love and trust we once had were beyond repair. I could forgive many things, but not this level of betrayal. I told her I wanted a divorce. She cried, pleaded, and blamed her friend again, but my heart had shut down. I could no longer remain in a marriage where loyalty meant so little. Now I'm working to rebuild my life, healing from the pain of her disloyalty. It's a difficult path, but I know I deserve better than someone who let another's influence unravel our promises. The child may be innocent, but my spouse's decisions brought us to this point, and I refuse to carry the weight of her mistakes any longer. I've started focusing on my own healing, forging a new path free from the shadow of deception. Letting go of the years we spent together is heart-wrenching, but staying in a broken marriage would only keep me trapped in pain. Slowly, I'm rediscovering my resilience and finding peace. My spouse must now face the consequences of her actions. Perhaps one day she'll fully understand the hurt she caused, but by then, it will no longer be my burden. I've freed myself from suffering for her choices. At last, I'm moving toward a life of freedom.